chakras. We're going to talk about trauma. We're going to talk about healing, which basically what this course is about is using your chakras and psychology to do some really intense shadow work, remove the core traumas that you have. We go up the energy centers, and when you're done with every energy center, that's like all the inner child healing work that you have to do. Okay. The course that we have laid out here, it is basically a map to getting through all of your inner child healing work. And each chakra corresponds with an emotion, basically. So we're going to talk about what's trauma. First things first. Trauma is basically just a big misunderstanding. Basically, it's the story you wrote in response to something happened to you. Okay, so when we talk about inner child healing, we talk about trauma in terms of something happened, it wasn't explained to you, or it was explained to you poorly. And so you wrote a story about it, about yourself in your mind in response to this. This story became something that you told yourself over and over and over until you believed that it was true. So it became a core belief. Calling it a core trauma means that it affects how you feel about yourself now, typically in a negative light. And it's affecting your life and how you function on a day-to-day basis. And these subconscious choices that you're making that are keeping you stuck in a cycle where you're not able to create the life that you want. You're creating from a space of this old belief system that was essentially written. It's like a playbook for your life that you wrote when you were a child. So, I don't know how to make that go away. Yes, so we got to get to the root of that. We have to get to the root of that. And this is not a new thing. It's not like a method that I developed. This is something that I learned from Mami Onami. And she learned it from the Rig Veda, which is like one of the oldest texts that has ever been found. And it's like an Eastern approach to psychology. And, rather than like talk therapy is great, don't get me wrong. I only was ever able to get so far with it because these traumas are rooted in your feeling body, your emotional body. And so we have to take an approach where we're going into that body, turning the feeling up, feeling it intensely, finding the first time that we felt that way, and then observing from that standpoint. And I guide you through that. Not really in this course, but in my one-on-one work. The course itself is more so about diagnosing these and then implementation work. So how do you know that you have these blocks, and tools for implementing a new pattern of behavior, choosing a new belief, and creating a new pattern of behavior where you're consciously creating with the universe and you're not creating from this subconscious lack mindset anymore. Or this like these belief system where you just like feel like you're a piece of shit. So you're just creating experiences in your life that continue to show you and make you feel that you're a piece of shit. So I tried all kinds of stuff. I tried talk therapy. I fell in love with my therapist. His name was Steve. I'm sure we'll talk about him more. I think I really only fell in love with him because he was the first adult male to just continually validate me. It's not weird. Okay. Lots of people fall in love with their therapist. I don't see him anymore. He's married. It was never like a thing, but it was nice for a while. But it didn't, I went to therapy because I wanted to feel better. And I didn't feel better even after a year or 2 years of doing it. I was like, we're just continuing to go around and intellectualizing the same experiences, and I still feel like shit. Like, and I'm not seeing any real changes in my life that I was wanting to see and things that I was wanting to create. I felt like I was still stuck in a way. I went to AA for a long time. I'm not saying that didn't help. It definitely did. It definitely got me sober, but it was a tool that I kind of outgrew where it was like therapy. It got me so far, and then I needed something different. Um, Energy healing, I've done Reiki. That actually has been really helpful, but again, like I have to use that in conjunction with other things and like continuing to maintain a very robust spiritual practice and just the extreme self-awareness, painful self-awareness at times. Um, but all of those things, one thing at a time, never really did it for me. And I just wanted to feel better. And so this is what led me to this work really is I was having really like issues with my relationships, issues with like I just want to be in partnership and I just wanted to be loved. And I continued to, even after my abusive marriage ended, I continued to see myself. I would be in these relationships and feel it felt the same. It was like a very familiar feeling of like, wow. And after like the third or fourth one, and just the extreme crash out that comes with the ending of it and difficulty letting go of people that were not able to show up for me, not able to like not consciously not choosing me and literally telling me like I can't provide for you in a way that is going to be meaningful for you. Um, I just I was like, there's gotta be something else here because there's no way, like I see other people operating in their lives and why is it different for other people and I'm not able to create that in my life. Like that I had to get to the bottom of it. I was like, I don't have another one of these in me. I have to like figure out what it is that I'm doing. And that's how I found Mami Onami. And that's how I found her work last fall. And then this spring is when I took her Wheels Reinvented course in healing childhood trauma, healing your chakras. It's a psychological workshop, basically. It's a lot of psychological work. So psychological strategy in conjunction with magic and energy healing, because all magic exists in the mind. So it's really about changing your beliefs. And as long as you believe in something with your mind, your body, your soul, all those things in alignment, then you can create whatever you want if you're doing it consciously. So the 7 core blocks, the 7 core traumas, this is what I'm talking about when I'm talking about core trauma. And these are blocks that everybody gets. You're not born with them. These are things that are put on you through your experiences in life, particularly in childhood, in the first 9 years of your life. And even if you don't remember your childhood, because there's a lot of things that I didn't remember either, because your brain is just a sweet baby angel and wants to protect you and like compartmentalize and section these things off so you're not constantly in pain. And that's how they become subconscious, is because they're things that you're not consciously thinking, but you're still acting from those things that are still in there, those beliefs that are still in there. So when we do the trauma work, that's going in and doing basically like psychological surgery and removing those things and changing them. But anyway, these are the blocks that everybody gets, and they're corresponding with your chakras, your energy centers in your body. The first one is fear or guilt. So this is the Muladhara chakra. It's the root, it's the base of your spine. This comes from a feeling that the world isn't safe. It's not safe for me to be here. And you see this block manifest as not being able to stabilize in life, always living hand to mouth, not being able to get your needs met, not being able to get enough. The next one is shame. So when you have that foundation of fear and guilt, always looking over your shoulder, never always living in survival mode, not being able to stabilize, that's a great foundation for shame in the sacral chakra. So this is the sex center. Shame comes from feeling like you're unwanted, you're undesirable. It's not safe to be me. So we have that, it's not safe to be here. It's not safe to be me. There's something wrong with me. And you'll see this by relationship issues, numbing addictions. Maybe you're able to get your needs met, but you're not able to ever get more. You're not able to ever experience like the pleasure of life and fulfilling your desires in life. There's always something that you're chasing that is just out of your reach, that you just can't feel fulfilled. You're feeling like not enough. Next one in the Manipura chakra, your solar plexus, that is anxiety. So when we have this foundation of it's not safe to be here, it's not safe to be me, then we come to the Manipura chakra, which is no one anywhere is safe. This anxiety, this constant worry, this feeling out of control, this inability to control our thoughts, because when we have anxiety, it's a lot of like racing thoughts, it's a lot of rumination, it's basically panic, so it's that survival mode, but on steroids. And if we have blocks in these centers, the energy is not able to go up. So we're constantly manifesting experiences that are continuing to show us those things, like that we're not enough, that we're not going to be able to get our needs met, that it's supposed to be scary in the world. And, feeling like I can't do things and nothing's in control in my life. The next one is in the heart chakra. This one is so sad and so much hurt. Grief, commonly in our Western culture, is called depression. People call it depression, which the heart is actually blocked by grief, which grief isn't like, feeling sad when somebody dies. It's not coming to terms with it's not like the 5 stages of grief. That was written for people to come to terms with terminal illness. Grief is actually conflicting emotions, having conflicting emotions about something, feeling like you have unfinished business with something or someone, feeling like so much love for somebody, but also feeling hurt and knowing that they're not good for you and having to let that go and having to come to terms with this conflict. It creates this conflict in yourself. And when we have a lot of grief that's blocking our heart, we can't show up authentically. We can't show up authentically in life. We feel like we have to fake it. We have this foundation of it's not safe to be here. It's not safe to be me. No one anywhere is safe. The heart says, I'm just not meant to be happy. So we learn to fake it. So we learn to lie. So we get disconnected from what feels right and true to us. And we get disconnected from being able to tell that truth to others and living with an open heart and speaking honestly and freely and being in alignment with our words and our actions and our energetic feelings about things. We start to fake it in life, and you can tell like when somebody's faking it in life versus somebody that is living authentically in their truth and really expressing themselves. The next block is jealousy in the throat chakra. A lot of people think like, oh, I can't be blocked in my throat because I don't have an issue with speaking. Well, often the block in the throat comes with speaking too much. That's actually it. And jealousy is really like, the block is jealousy, judgment. If you're judging somebody, that means you're jealous of them. So what does that mean? Let me think of an example that I can tell you recently. Recently, I was judging somebody because now I can pick this out in people very easily. But I often will judge people that are judging other people, and then I somehow like feel more superior because I'm like able to see that they're judging, even though I'm judging them for judging. You know what I mean? Like somebody was talking about their neighbor and how their yard is really trashy and how they're like trashy, and I was like, "You're judging them for being trashy. You must be jealous of them that they don't have to put time and energy into maintaining their yard. So therefore, you feel jealous of them." But then I'm like actually judging her for talking shit about this other person, even though it's like, whatever. Judging, jealousy, and what's the other block of that one? Complaining. People that constantly complain about other people, having impure speech, and judging other people, judging situations, talking shit. I mean, oftentimes in my life, for a long time, I like to run my mouth. I was like the queen of talking shit. And I still can be, but I really try not to indulge that too much because it just doesn't feel good anymore. But it used to be a really like knee-jerk reaction for me, but that's the block of the throat. Block of the third eye, Anya, your Anya chakra is feeling crazy. So you have all these visions, you have all these ideas, and you just think that they're crazy. You just like aren't able to really act on them and ground them into reality. And so then you start to feel crazy about them, or you think that other people are going to judge them as crazy or like not able to be achieved. So you never act on them. And a lot of times you get this block when knowledge exceeds understanding. So when you're taking a lot of things, like we're constantly scrolling on our phones now, information is more accessible than it's ever been. If you're constantly taking in information and you're not processing it and you're not integrating it and implementing it and you're not creating something with it, you'll get super blocked and super congested in here. It's like the feeling of having indigestion, but in your mind. And yeah, you have to be able to use your Anya and use your visions that you're getting from the divine and use the information that you're getting from this world to be able to create something and put something out and create and ground down through your root and down through your heart. Or you can experience spiritual psychosis. Like you see people all the time who, at least in the spiritual community, who are not grounded in their roots and in their heart and who haven't unblocked all the rest of their chakras that are like, why don't I just open my third eye? And then they get into spiritual psychosis. So that's really a big issue. Everybody wants to open their third eye. Everybody wants to heal their sex center. Nobody knows what the fucking Muladhara is. Nobody knows what the solar plexus is. You know, nobody wants to work on the Vishuddha. But there's dangers to just opening your third eye, especially just opening it mechanically with psychoactive drugs. Anyway, feeling crazy, that's the block of Anya. And then the seventh chakra is the Sahasrara. And it's not really a chakra, it's not really an energy center so much as it is an opening at the top of your head. So ideally what would be happening is you have balance in all of these chakras and energy is moving. You know, you're grounded down in your roots, energy is moving up and then out the top. And that's like what's creating your aura is this energy around, up, it goes up and around like that. So you're connected to the earth, to the roots in the bottom, and you're connected to the divine through the portal on the top of your head. And it's creating your energetic field. Okay. If you have blocks in those energy centers, the energy isn't able to move up. It's just moving out through those blocks. And that's why you're creating experiences that are continuing to reinforce those old belief systems, you know, and you can white knuckle your way through life. I certainly did that for a long time, even in like when I was in therapy and when I did AA and stuff like that. Like those were things that like made me feel good. But then, you know, there's still times where I was like by myself and still feeling like there's something deeper in here that, you know what I mean? It's just, I needed something else. So I kept seeking. Anyways, so we talked a little bit about what are chakras, but basically, yeah, everything I said before, Eastern approach to psychology. Here, this is a cool picture actually. How your nadis, your energy channels. So everybody has solar and lunar energy in them. Like people, you've probably heard of this if you're in any sort of like spiritual adjacent realm, masculine and feminine energy. So the solar is the masculine energy, the lunar is the feminine energy. And everybody has both of these energies in them. Ideally, you would be able to come into balance with each side. And it's a dynamic flow. It's something that's constantly cycling. You want it to be able to be constantly cycling. Otherwise, if you're blocked, then that's when you start experiencing issues like we talked about before. But energy healing helps facilitate the free flow of this energy. And especially when you remove all of these blocks, it's something that I like to use to maintain this openness in energy. And so all of my sessions, even these like psychological sessions, are infused with Reiki because I'm a Reiki practitioner. So it's not something that like you can just like turn off. Like once you're attuned to energetic healing, it's just on all the time. You can and should implement energetic boundaries, and that's something that's been really important to me, not only in my life, but in my energetic practice as well. Okay, energy healing. I made this presentation a long time ago, so oh yeah, so maintaining energy, clearing blockages. What is Reiki even? So let's talk about that. Reiki is being attuned to the energy of unconditional love. And so when somebody is practicing Reiki on you, that's what they're doing, is they're infusing your energetic centers with, or your aura or whatever, whether they're doing it distance or they're doing it hands-on, with unconditional love. And so it's something that's like talk therapy, but for your energy body. And it does require maintenance. So it's not like you're going to have one Reiki session, and maybe you will, where everything's unblocked and you'll never need it again in your life. Like, it's something that requires maintenance. It's something that you can only ever remove the blocks that somebody is ready to release. You know, if it's something that you're hard hanging on to, it's not like I'm going to be some miracle worker and I can like pry it out of your energetic hands. Like, it's something, anybody that's done any type of healing work or any type of shadow work, like, you probably know what I'm talking about, where over time you can release more and more, or over time you see things differently and you're ready to let go of things different and more and more over time. But yes, restoring and maintaining the flow of energy. And yeah, if you're having issues with your, psychological blocks, energetic blocks, you can see those things manifest in your physical body as well with different things. And if you know anything about Louise Hay, she made a whole career on the mental and physical connection, the mind-body connection, and what things are manifesting in your physical body, what might be going on for you mentally. Super cool. Super cool. I have one of her books and I love it. So basically, yeah, this course is going to be our foundation of knowledge for chakras, energy healing, trauma work. Really, I'm just presenting the tools that I have learned to not only diagnose what might be going on with me if I'm seeing an issue in my life, because I know inherently that I'm only ever talking to God. And when we're doing this intense shadow work all the time, it's a path. It's something that you walk forever. Like, the journey is the reward. And everything in life is a mirror for your internal world. And so if I'm seeing something manifesting in my life, that's where I'm going to, and I'm displeased by it, or I'm having an issue with it or whatever. I know it's a problem, or I know it comes back to one of these blocks. I use these tools to diagnose, okay, what is the block? What is the belief that's under that? And how can I change that? And there's also like nervous system regulation techniques in there. There's journaling prompts. And it's going to be a really fun ride. So I'm happy that you are here. And if you're ready, go ahead and post in the group where you feel stuck in your body or in your life, or what are you seeing come up for you? If you're wanting to go deeper into things and not do group work and do something more intimate, I do offer one-on-one sessions. You can find the link below. Okay, I love you. Bye.